Welcome to the Tatyana Show. I'm your host, Tatyana, and there is a new weekly newspaper out. It's called The Voice. It features news stories, editorials, opinion pieces, and so much more from an African American perspective. And it's also available in all of North Mississippi, so all the way down from Houston to Tupelo and those surrounding areas, you are allowed to be prescribed and get The Voice. So if you or someone you know may want to prescribe to The Voice and get those weekly newspapers, dial the number below. Or maybe if you have a business and you want your business to be advertised in The Voice, also dial the number below, and I'm sure someone will be gladly to assist you. But stay tuned because you're watching the Tatyana Show. Don't forget to tune in to the Tatyana Show, November 7th.
Like this, some people move on past.
Man, you have future plans of, November 7th. Welcome back to the Tatyana Show. I'm your host, Tatyana, and I know last week I said that you wasn't allowed to bring your cowbells to the Belk Bowl, but I was completely wrong. The Bank of America Stadium has allowed Mississippi State a one-time pass to use their cowbells in the stadium during the Belk Bowl. So if you're going to the Belk Bowl in Charlotte, North Carolina, you can totally bring your cowbells. You can bring your cowbell, friend cowbell, their cowbell. You can even bring the rivals in cowbell, because when we beat them, But just that you are allowed to bring your cowbells. That's not mistaken. And if the game is December 30th on Wednesday at 2:30 p.m. And if you're not allowed to, you can't go to Charlotte because, whatever reason you have, you can always watch the game on ESPN and show your support through Spirit Health State. But moving along in sports, Golden State winning streak has come to an end against the Milwaukee Bucks on Saturday. They lost against the team and kind of upset them, made them hurt. But they came back harder on Wednesday and they beat the Phoenix Suns with 128-103. So congratulations on that win. And you guys are still in the running for the playoffs. And you guys still have an unbelievable winning streak. So just keep that up, Golden State, and you guys will be great. Like just as you was last season. But moving along, there is a company in Canada that is selling bottled air to consumers in China. The company is called Vanity Air, and they sell bottled air from $19 to $32 depending on the size. And it does come in a variety of oxygen. There's premium air, Lake Louise air, and there's premium oxygen 10. So the company founders Moses Lamb and Troy Plague say it all started out with a joke when they had a Ziploc of air on eBay and someone actually bought it for $168, and they say, wow, people really buy oxygen, let's do this for real. And they spent over 10 hours capturing air to sell to consumers in China. And China do have a pollution problem, so that's maybe why it does so well. When the company first released the first 500 bottles, it sold out that same day, and now they're back making 1,000 bottles. So congratulations to something that was just a joke wound up becoming a real business to Moses and Troy. And I pray that America never gets a pollution problem, because I don't want to have to buy air. I already have to buy gas. But moving along in entertainment, Michael Jackson may be gone, but he is surely not forgotten. The Thriller album has just reached a new milestone. It is now 30 multi-platinum album, the first ever. So congratulations to the Jackson family and Michael Jackson and all of his kids. The Thriller album is still selling to this day, even though it's been 33 years since the release date. And it's been 60 years since any artist has ever reached this milestone, and Michael Jackson has just recently did it on Wednesday. He also sold over 1 billion records globally, and he's the only artist to sell that many albums. So Mike, you really made history, and you will never be forgotten. Rest in peace, and I pray the best for your family. But moving along in entertainment, NWA will be indicted into the 2016 Rock and Roll Hall of Fame. The group that came out in the mid-80s had made a change and shift the culture and did something that was just unforgettable. They sold over 100 albums, 100 million albums, in the in the years of doing their career, and that the movie that recently came out, NWA, it made 200 million in the box office. So congratulations to Dr. Dre, Ice Cube, MC Ren, and I know Easy R.I.P. Easy E, and everyone that was with the NWA movement. Congratulations on your Rock and Roll Hall of Fame induction. And Ice Cube also told Rolling Stone that the group may perform, and they're trying to get Snoop Dogg to do Easy E section. So I can't wait to see that. That's gonna be a great performance because everyone loves Snoop. So let's see. But that's all the information I have in news. Stick around because I have an interview with the Starkville Fire Chief that you don't want to miss. Because fire is nothing to play with. You're watching the Tatyana Show. Welcome back to the Tatyana Show. I'm your host, Tatyana, and who I have with me today is Starkville Fire Department Fire Chief, Mr. Charles Yarbrough. Thank you so much for being on the show.
Thank you for inviting me.
Okay, so as Fire Chief, what is your role?
My role as Fire Chief is administration of the fire department, one thing, overall safety of the city, fire prevention for the city, and then also managing the monetary side of it, the budgeting issues, whatever may come up with the fire department. So those are my biggest roles, taking care of all of the people that work. I don't like to say under me, the people work for me, the people that I work with. So.
Okay. So how long have you been in the business of being a firefighter?
21 years.
Okay. And at what age did you decide I want to be a firefighter?
I probably around 10. I started to make some bad decisions, starting fires and stuff like that. So I was always fascinated with fire anyway. So probably about 10, at the age of 10, and then I was 23 when I came up here. So.
And ever since then, you've been a firefighter?
I have been a firefighter since then.
How did it take you to become a firefighter? Like, what steps did you take?
I had to do a basic application thing, physical fitness test, written test. So I did very well on both of those, and then had to do an interview, and then they offered the job. So I've been here ever since then.
Okay. So was it always in your plans to become chief, or did it just happen?
No, it was always in my plan to become chief. When I came here, we had a chief by the name of Willie Johnson, and he was the first black chief in the city of Starkville. And I kind of looked up to him because I loved the path that he took to get here. And I was afforded opportunities to go to different classes, and I went out on my own and got my education in order to be here, to get my degrees, in order to, when the opportunity came, I would be ready to do it. So, yeah.
Okay. So what is it about being a firefighter that you love?
I love helping people. That's it. I mean, that's the biggest thing. I love giving back to my community and helping people. So that's if you're gonna be a firefighter, you got to love those two things: giving back to the community and helping people.
Okay. I know a lot of people just associate you guys with putting out fire. What else do you all do?
Yeah, that's probably the least thing we do, put out fires. We do that. Our number one goal is fire prevention. Now, we can keep them from happening, and that's the number one thing we want to do. We also do, we in the schools helping the kids out, and we teaching kids fire prevention. So it starts when they're in kindergarten, pre-kindergarten, pre-K, not playing with matches and all that. And then we go, we do that, we inspect buildings, we do training, we go to several different classes. We do overland search and rescue, we search for people who are lost, that maybe we do vehicle accidents, rescue people from that maybe get stuck on top of a building, rescue people from elevators. We do so much. Our job is just really, firefighting encompasses so much, so it's really definitely just not firefighting.
Okay. And you say that y'all try to teach people how to prevent fires. What are a few tips that you can give people on preventing fires this holiday season?
Okay, holiday season, some of the things we see, cooking, and also another thing we see, Christmas trees. So let's talk about the cooking first. The cooking thing is always going to be the same year round. If you're cooking, don't leave your stove. Don't leave out the kitchen because, now with the technology, you got cell phones and things like that, and all this stuff going on. You walk away, by the time you come back, your house is on fire. So it don't really take long. People cooking turkeys and things outside. That's the big thing. Cook them outside. Don't cook them under enclosed, carport, anything like that. Cook them outside in an open space like they're supposed to be. And always watch them because they're very dangerous. Those turkey cookers are. Christmas trees, only the biggest ones are the real Christmas trees. Make sure that you keep them watered because you got lights on there and they can at night. Cause they get dry. If they dry, they will at night. You have them. You can start a fire like that. We have a lot of Christmas tree fires every year. Okay. No, across the nation, not maybe here, but across the nation. So
how can someone keep the Christmas tree watered if they have the ornaments on the tree?
You're gonna water at the bottom.
Okay.
Yeah, just water the bottom of the tree where the root's at. So
okay.
Especially on the real tree, and we have one out here that we had somebody pretty much water every day.
Okay, so they should water it every day.
I would say if you look down there, no water in there. Yeah, I think every day you need to pour a little water in there. That's what my suggestion would be.
Okay. Aside from giving out tips on preventing fires, how do when one does happen, like what is it that urge you to be like, okay, we gotta go fix it? Like, what is about that thrill of putting out a fire when one does happen?
It's exciting, to be honest with you. It's really exciting because we got our gear on. We're going to somewhere, that's dark. Most people think that you can see the fire, but you can't see it until you get on it. So it's dark in the house because you got smoke. So you crawling through the unknown, and you get there, and it's a thrill of actually putting water on it and putting it out. Mm-hmm. It's a thrill sometimes to sit there and watch it do what it do, because it does some very interesting things. They move in a certain pattern, so sometimes just sitting there watching how it works, it's exciting at times, and then you get a chance to put it out, and you get a chance to save somebody property.
Yeah.
So for that moment, and you come out, you're a hero. So,
yeah.
And I think that's, it's kind of that thing, It's kind of a macho thing, a little bit, I think.
So it's like a man thing.
it's a man thing, but I think it's a female thing too, because the females that get into this business, they have to be something, really great, because it's a tough field for men. So I can only imagine for a female, but there are some great females out there that's really doing good. So
what advice can you give someone who may want to be a firefighter?
Keep yourself in shape. This is a very demanding, physically demanding job. Firefighters die from heart conditions more than anything. So, keeping yourself in shape, keeping a clean driving record, because we got $1 million piece of equipment that we want people to drive, but you got to have a clean record to do it. Stay out of trouble. Get your education. I mean, most people think, well, I'm a firefighter, but it's a lot of school you have to go to. It's a lot of education requirements to keep your job and to move up and promote. So I would say those things right there.
Okay. As a chief, do you ever have dreams of maybe working in like a different city or a different area? Yeah,
I do. I would love to be a fire chief in a different area once I'm done retired here. Or be a instructor or teacher somewhere else. I always wanted to go to Houston, Texas. So that's kind of my goal when I leave here, to move to Houston, maybe and do some teaching or something like that.
Okay. That's a bigger city, so bigger problems.
A whole lot bigger problems, bigger fire departments. So, a lot more people advanced. But, I think the management concept is the same. You got to have good people work under you. That's the main thing. I have it. I'm fortunate to have great people that work beside me, and if you want to say under me, but I'm more sort of say beside me, that do their job and allow me to be able to do my job a little bit better. So.
Okay. I know as a firefighter, y'all a team, y'all have to have trust walking into a fight together. How do y'all know from interviewing and, getting new candidates that this is someone that we can trust with our life?
I tell you what, to be honest with you, we really can't find out through the interview process, because the interview process, we were talking about this earlier, is flawed to an extent, because if I'm interviewing you, you won't tell me what you want to hear to get the job. So what we do, once you become a firefighter, and once you hire you, we take you through a 2-week process, and we find out if you really want to be a firefighter. We find out, because it's gonna be a tough process. So we take you through we put you in situations, and sometimes you fail in those situations, and that's fine. It's fine to fail in those training situations, but we just don't want you quitting. So that's how we find out, you know. We find out about working with you and training with you, we can trust you or not, you know.
How long does that process usually take to become a firefighter?
It takes, do you mean like to become a certified firefighter or just become, to get hired?
Well, at least the first step to get hired.
It's different. It probably take you about a month or two to get hired, just because it's a long process.
Mm-hmm.
You know, you have to get a background checks, and then you have to go through the process of actually getting tested. So we do a physical fitness test,
Mm-hmm.
we do a written test, and then we do an interview. So you have to pass each step to get to the interview. So
Okay.
it takes a little bit to do it.
Okay, so after they're done with those steps, then how long is the next process of being certified?
The next process, it will take you 7 weeks. So you go to the Mississippi State Fire Academy, which is in Pearl or Jackson, Mississippi.
Mm-hmm.
You stand there for 7 weeks, and you become what we call a certified firefighter. Then with us, you have to be an EMT, which is an emergency medical technician.
Mm-hmm.
So you have to go to one semester at the local college in order to be able to do that.
Okay.
So first year here, it's going to take you about a year to actually become what we call a certified firefighter.
Okay. How many fires do Starkville average yearly?
Working fires about 20 a year. Now we have several car fires. We have stove fires, but when we're talking about actual fires, when we respond, so probably about 20 a year.
Okay. So, and usually that's around what time of the year?
To be honest, most people always think it's around wintertime, but it's summertime. It's all year round. You know, you never can really tell. I mean, we could have a year where we have more in the summer than the winter. So
Yeah.
it just depended on when people paying attention or not, you know. 'Cause
Yeah.
most of our fires start from cooking fires and people not paying attention. And a stove fire can turn into a house fire, so that could be any time during the year.
Okay. Are there any ways that maybe people could, if they do have a little small fire, that they can just put out before having to call y'all?
Yeah, you know, we have people, if they have extinguishers, they can use the fire extinguishers. But, you know, if they don't have those, we would rather for you to call us.
Okay.
We don't want people getting trapped in the house and dying trying to put out a stove fire. You know, you can replace, we hate for death, but you can replace your stove, you can replace your cabinets, but we can't replace you. So we just, you know, if there's a problem, just call, you know, and let us come take care of it. That's what we get paid to do. So.
Okay. And as fire chief, do you still go to the fires, or do you just stand back in them?
I go to them, but I don't go in them. I stand back, and it's a hard thing to do. It's a very hard thing to do, to stand back and watch, because you want to help. But I stand back and I let the people that's beside me or under me, if you want to call it, they let them do the job. You know,
Yeah.
that's what they're trained to do. So, you know, I had my time, so now my job is a little bit different. So, and it's a hard thing sometimes for me to realize that I'm not supposed to be doing that,
Mm-hmm.
because I'm always going to get my hands on something. So.
Yeah. Also, like, do you ever just? I'm sorry, but when was the most recent, most dangerous fire that you guys have had in the city of Starkville?
The most recent fire we had was about 2 weeks ago,
Mm-hmm.
and everyone we go to is dangerous. So, you know, everyone is dangerous. But it was about 2 weeks ago they had one, but it was what we consider to be an average fire. Our guys did a good job of getting it out.
How long does that process take when putting out a fire?
Oh, it could take 2 minutes. Or it could take an hour or two. It could be a long time, depending on. It just depends on the building. It depends on how long the fire been burning. It's a number of factors. So and once the fire's out, that's when we come in as investigators and we figure out what happens, how to start. So.
Okay, so y'all do the investigating part of that
Right.
too.
We did the investigating part as well. So, that's the science of it. You put the fire, but then, you can go in. We got guys here capable of going in and find out exactly where it started at and how it started.
Wow.
Yeah. So.
How does that work? Like, what is it that you guys see or look for?
It's once you get trained to do different things, and it's stuff that you can just find out, and just from over the years seeing fires and how they can develop. There are certain things you look for, and you can figure out. It started over here. Witness statements are one of the things, but you can just, like I said, it's being trained to know what to look for.
Yeah. Okay, so can you tell us something about being a firefighter that people may not know who is not firefighters?
Okay. I think that's one of the things that people may not know, that we actually can pretty much tell what the fire started at. We investigate our own fires. That's one thing people don't know. I think that people don't also know that firefighters, as tough as we say we are on the outside, we still human. So we do a lot as far as we see a lot. We see a lot of death from car wrecks, from fires, from just people just dying. So death is one of the things that we see a lot of, and we have to cope with it. So I always tell people, if you see firefighters on the scene of a tragic accident or something, and they smiling and joking around, don't always assume that they don't care.
Mm-hmm.
They care, but they just cope. We all cope in different ways. Some guys cope by joking around.
Yeah.
And some guys come back to the station, they cry. Some guys may cry on the scene, but as tough as we want to say we are, we still human. So
Yeah.
I think that's the biggest thing that people maybe not know about firefighters.
Okay, well, thank you so much, Mr. Charles, for being on